Alright, I just want to talk about my dream here. I'm gonna go outside and talk about it. Anyways, yeah, I want to talk about my dream that I have. So, I don't think I really have the best relationship with my family anymore. Ever since I met my ex-girlfriend, like the love of my life, then it's kind of like whatever. But then, like a lot of people just seem to still act the same. So it just makes it kind of drives me crazy when everyone acts kind of like I don't exist, and it feels like people are like trying to keep me from waking up. But that didn't make a little sense because that was a little jimble jamble. Anyway, so I had a dream. I was at my grandma's. I gave my dad some birthday presents. It was his birthday. I gave him a metal CD because he likes listening to metal, like death metal, like and like heavy riffs and stuff. So he has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of CDs, and he had tons of fucking magazines. And so I was there, and I gave him breath mints, a notebook, I think, breath mints and something else, a CD, and some other things. Then I was running around the house, and there was bears outside. So there's anytime I'm always dreaming about my grandparents, and then there's bears outside. So I just redid my hair too. So there was bears outside. There's like two or three baby cubs, and the one was inside. And I remember one was running outside, and I smacked it, and then the mama bear came running around the corner, and I got inside, and the lock was broken, and my grandma was like trying to lock it real quick. I'm like, that's not gonna work, because I'm always dreaming about bears at my grandma's. I've had dreams about bears in the top fucking rafters where all this like old cans are and all this stuff is, and like shit that my dad had as a kid. They put it away, and they were like eating bodies and shit, and they were fucking like vicious as fuck. They were like demonic. And I'm always dreaming about black bears or brown bears attacking at my grandparents, and a couple of times my family members have saved me or scared them off, and they're always coming after me. And I'm always like, that'd be so cool if we had bears on the property, right? Because my grandpa and my dad always hunt deers on the property, and my dad's been hunting since he's 14 in this backyard. He has that much property, and my grandpa would trap animals, fox, minks, rabbit, raccoon, skunk, and then the golf course is like, you're flooding, we gotta kill the beavers. And it's not the beavers, dude. It is not the beavers who flooded, because every year this shit gets flooded, whether there's beavers or not. So they kind of killed all the animals back there, which they shouldn't have. You'll barely see a fox back there. You'll see turkeys and shit. Like that is it, some whatever. But you'll barely see turkeys. You'll see lots of turkeys, and you'll see lots of deer, and you'll be lucky if you see like a fox or a mink back there. You'll be lucky, bro. But anyways, I'm always having dreams of fucking bears. And my family, we don't fight, but they're always crossing boundaries. So like if I don't want this or that, and I'm just trying to stay out of their hair, they're always trying to get in my hair. They're always trying to annoy me. And it's kind of weird that people would say, that's what your family's for. So like your family's there to torment you? That make you go crazy? Nah, big homie, nah. So, bears were there. They came. Then I'm like, Dad, help. He came. There was a big-ass dog that was, like, looking for him. My dog's around him. Then in the end of the dream, my grandma's like, oh, your dog goes inside. And she was outside. And I'm like, I just brought my dog outside. And then she's like, oh, she pissed upstairs. So then I went and got my dad. My dad's trying to defend me. And then my grandma's being, like, a huge asshole to me. And my dad's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Eric, that we're like this. So, and it's just like, instead of just being like, oh, whatever, like leave Eric alone, it's like, oh, we gotta always bother Eric and try and piss him off. So, but I'm always having dreams about bears. And I looked it up, and yeah, there's a lot of aggression at my house. My dad's been living there since he was a kid, and he's gotten married, and he got divorced, and he has 3 kids. And, he still has a relationship with the mom, even though they broke up, he's still always tried to fix it together, but it's probably best that they're not together, which is sad. No, which actually is not bad. It's just, I guess, honestly, my dad just has some issues he needs to work on, and my mom has some issues that she needs to work on. It's like both people who could work but don't want to work, and they don't want to get together, and they want to hurt each other and destroy themselves and each other. It's just all stupidity, dude. It's just the name of the game, anyways. But yeah, and then I had a dream, and then I don't know what was fucking going on in my dream, But like my grandma was writing numbers down, and then she was trying to call the doctors on me, the psychiatric doctors, and it's like old doctors, like old school doctors, and she's like, yeah, hi, my grandson needs to get some shots or pills, he's going crazy. Or all because I was exposing her, because I was exposing secrets and truths that they wanted to keep secret, like magic or demonic shit. And then my grandma said in my dream, chosen number 73, or chosen 173 or something. She's like, you're chosen one number 73, or she said that. And I swear I was like gonna have a dream like that, or I heard that like a few days ago before I had this dream. But I have a lot of deja vu, and it's really fucking annoying, man. And I'm always tripping out, dude. But yesterday, I was talking to a girl for 4 hours, and I seen 2 shooting stars. So I seen one shooting star, and then I thought to myself, man, God, that'd be so cool if I seen another shooting star. Like, oh, did I get another one? And I seen 2 of them, which in theory is just asteroids. But when you get into religion and spirituality, and when you get into like other science, it's like there's meaning to it. So in the non-technical world, in the magic world, in the pretend world, because Jesus isn't real, because everyone's like, God's not real, but it's like, what did Jesus pray to? Well, Jesus called God his Father, right? Jesus was praying to a sky. And that's the biggest cult following ever. Some guy who was Jewish, and then they killed him, and then it turned into Christianity. So Jesus didn't write any of the Bibles. They wrote Bibles about Jesus, and there's 66 books. I Googled it. That's a lot of fucking books. And then they killed his disciples. So all of his disciples and the people who betrayed him, they all killed all those people, and all the people who knew everything and who was taught, like Bruce Lee, whose teachings or whatever, the master. Jesus is a master. And after that, they just killed everyone. They hung them upside down, and they fucking killed them all. And they beat the living shit out of them. And the Romans are just like the government, so fuck the government, dude. They don't like if you ever talk about God or anything. I just woke up though. Yeah, I was talking to this chick last night for like 4 hours, and she's like, oh, I like you, and well, what if we're meant to cross paths? And I'm like, oh, I believe in a lot of shit, and then I seen 2 shooting stars, and then I Googled it. It's like, maybe it's a good thing, maybe I should hang out with her, but yeah, man, I had a dream, and that's my dream. And my grandma was like, in the end, and then she was like, then I was like, Grandma, what are you gonna do if the neighbors keep finding out that you keep putting your kids in the psych ward, or you keep calling the cops around here, and there's cops always showing up at your house, huh? And all your kids are retards and loony bins, and you're not this perfect Christian that you think you are. And all the neighbors are sitting there talking about you and how you're stupid, and you have bad sperm, and you're crazy. And then my grandma just went like this, and she went, boop, and she just stuck her butt out, and she's just looking at me like, uh-oh. And I'm just like, this bitch is crazy, man. She's crazy, dude. And then, yeah, she kept trying to call this doctor and have a shot, and then she's like, maybe, and then it was just like I was having a thought, I was hearing a voice, and I was like, maybe you'll find your answers, who knows, And maybe it's like, but yeah, and so it's just like, that's my dream, man. I'm always having dreams about bears up at my family, and I figured I'd tell you about it because I want to make a book. Anytime I have a dream, and if I can remember it, I want to write a huge book of all my dreams, because I don't know if anyone else does that. And like I said, I'm spiritual, and there's a lot of crazy people out there, and there's people who can get into your mind and your head. And honestly, if they were probably already going to do it. So sometimes I'm like, I just don't care. I'm not afraid. I gotta fight all my monsters. I gotta fight all my demons. I gotta get through this shit, because if I don't face anything, it's never gonna go away. And if I'm gonna tell you, you can face a bully in your life, and the bully's still gonna be a bully. So if you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose. So sometimes you ain't gonna win in any situation. Sometimes life's just gonna fucking suck, either for like a little bit or a long time, and you just gotta go through it, dude. Just fucking survive, man. Do whatever you can to survive. Keep your teeth clean. Brush your teeth, take showers. Go talk to a psychiatrist. I'm glad it's raining. See all these rocks? I do rock collecting, and I collect agates and crystals. Yeah, I gotta pop that shit later. And I do crystal collecting. And so I just do shit. And yeah, so now that it's raining, I can go rock hunting later and collect agates. But yeah, just take care of yourself, man. And go see a therapist or a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is for meds, and a therapist is someone to talk to. And I talk to him about a lot of shit. And he hasn't 5150'd me, so that's good. But yep, that was my dream, and that's all I gotta say. So bears are really angry and hungry, and they'll chase you down and eat you. Bears, yeah.